It all started on a quiet Saturday morning when my wife stepped out of our ranch house with her range bag slung over her shoulder, heading to her weekly firearm safety course that she actually teaches. But the moment HOA, Karen spotted the corner of a holstered training pistol sticking out of her bag. She shrieked like she'd just seen a wild bear on the sidewalk and sprinted across the street, yelling that weapons were forbidden by HOA law, completely ignoring the fact that we don't even live in her HOA. And before my wife could even explain, Karen whipped out her phone, dialed 911, and announced that there was an armed woman threatening the neighborhood. My wife just sighed, leaned against the truck, and said, $40 says they get here and shake my hand. And she wasn't wrong, because less than a minute later, the deputies rolled up, lights flashing, stepping out with hands resting near their holsters until they realized who they were walking toward. And then the shift in their posture was instant. Their serious expressions melted into wide smiles as three of them walked straight up to my wife, stood tall, and snapped a crisp salute, greeting her with, "Good morning, Sergeant, here for training again," leaving Karen frozen in confusion, her mouth wide open as the deputy politely explained that my wife was the department's firearms instructor, certified at the state and federal level, and that carrying secured training weapons was 100% legal on her own property. Karen tried to argue that her HOA laws override state law, which earned her a stunned stare from everyone, before the deputies warned her about filing false emergency reports. My wife just patted Karen's shoulder and said, "Next time, maybe ask before calling," before climbing into the truck and driving off while Karen stood there steaming in embarrassment. And as the deputies left, one of them looked at me and said, "Your wife's the reason half the department can shoot straight. Tell her, thanks." And that, my friend, is how HOA Karen learned in exactly 42 seconds that calling the cops on my wife is the quickest way to get humbled. Subscribe for more Wild Ranch justice stories.